Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who are new, my name is Natalie and I run a stationery shop called Doodles and Tea. On this channel, I make videos about growing your shop as well as sharing studio vlogs behind the scenes to show you guys kind of what my shop is all about. Originally, I started this channel to document my journey of running this shop from zero to where it is now, and it's been around a year and a half now. I wanted to make a video to share with you guys some of the things I learned in my first year of running this shop, because there were some things that I encountered that I didn't think that I would within the first year. These were either situations that I got into, or these are mentality shifts that I had to make throughout my first year that I didn't think I would be able to get myself to do. So I wanted to make this video to share these experiences with you guys, and if you are interested in content like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to like this video because it will help me out a lot. And with that, let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the importance of networking. And I talked about this more in a different video on my channel, which I will link in the cards and in the description. In that video, I talk more about the importance of networking in terms of growing your shop on Instagram and combating Instagram's ever-changing algorithm. But in this part, I wanted to talk about the importance of networking in terms of having a tight-knit community with other shop owners. For me, during this journey, I've met so many other amazing and super motivational shop owners as well as bullet journal accounts, and for me, I target those people because I am a stationery shop myself, so this will depend on your niche as well. But these are the people who not only will help promote your store and share your post, but these are the people who will protect you from the haters. These are the people who will find stores or other artists that are copying your products or copying your design and let you know. They'll be the ones to help you report the accounts as well. They're the ones that are going to fight for you because they know that that art is originally yours. Also, a tip, I guess 1.5 would be that you should really clearly state on your shop what your policies are in terms of like shipping or returns, all that kind of stuff, and make sure that it is clear on your shop. So if anyone's trying to argue you about it in the future, that at least you can just like screenshot your policies and tell them like, hey, it's always been here, like you just didn't read it, but it was here. I'm only mentioning this because I have encountered a few shop owners who had to deal with stuff like this. So I guess this is like a tip 1.5. I've had to help a lot of my friends either report posts or even infiltrate Facebook groups to have their posts reported because those people who stole their post had blocked them so they can't even see it themselves. It might sound like a lot of work, but they always really appreciate it, and I know that the connections I've built with these people, they got my back if and when this ever happens to me in the future as well. If you guys are social introverts like I am, I do have a Discord server where a lot of us are talking and a lot of us are shop owners as well, so if you guys are interested in joining, I have a link to that in the description box as well. The second thing I learned is to accept the fact that everyone grows at a different speed. When you start meeting other shop owners, you can't help but notice their growth rate as well. And you're always going to meet someone who seems to be doing so much better than you, even if they started later than you, and you could feel really discouraged from that. I know for me that there are a couple of shops that I talked to that started after me, and they have surpassed me like by a lot, and sometimes you can't help but feel discouraged because you put in so much effort but you aren't really getting the results yet. With that, I wanted to remind you that slow and small progress is still progress. I feel like a lot of people nowadays are trying to achieve overnight success, and for me, I thought about like, if the next day I suddenly got 100 sales, I don't even have enough materials to pack 100 orders. And on top of that, I would feel extremely overwhelmed as well. Like I get overwhelmed packing like a handful of orders. I can't imagine having to do 100. So just remember, everyone grows at your own pace, and that even the tiniest bit of progress is still progress. The third thing I learned was that at some point, I really didn't like my shop. Now, I want to clarify by saying it's not that I hated the brand, Doodles and Tea, I just hated the direction that it was going. I knew that I still wanted to run this store, but it got to a point where I was making products just to keep up with the algorithm or to be relevant instead of making things that I really liked. And it got to this point where I was just making product after product that I wasn't really happy about, but I felt like I needed to make things in order to be found. I talked about this in my Chit Chat with Nat video where we talked about burnout. So if you guys want more details about this, you can watch that video. But in the end, I just took a break. I think something that we need to normalize is taking breaks. Taking breaks, does that mean that you are weak? In fact, I think it makes you a lot stronger because you're prioritizing your own health instead of trying to just work on your shop. And nowadays, whenever I feel myself getting burnt out or tired, I just remind myself that it is okay to take a break. It is not worth trying to stress and watching my health decline because of my shop. The fourth thing that I learned was that taking a step back doesn't mean that you are failing. If you guys have been subscribed to my channel or have watched any of my other videos before, you would know that 2 months ago, I left Shopify. If you guys have not watched any of the previous videos, basically I was using Shopify for around 10 months or so, but it got to a point where my sales were really iffy and it just wasn't feasible to stay on Shopify anymore. And it felt really weird for me to go back to Etsy because I felt like a lot of people always try to transition from Etsy to Shopify, and that seemed like the next step. But for me, that I was going in reverse, and I initially thought of it as a downgrade. Instead, what I needed to do was to evaluate the situation, really think about why I was leaving Shopify and going back to Etsy, and not view it as a negative thing. There are so many videos on YouTube which compare Shopify and Etsy, and I've watched a lot of those too when I was deciding initially if I should go to Etsy or Shopify. And I feel like a lot of those videos that I watched, they tell you to either use one or another instead of telling you the pros and cons based off your life situations or your needs and wants. And a lot of those times, you could tell that those videos were either sponsored or biased. If you guys still want my opinion about Etsy or Shopify, I do have a video about that on my channel. It is not sponsored and not biased, and I do still stand by both of the things that I talked about in that video, so I will also leave that in the cards and in the description for you guys to check out. But yeah, ever since I left Shopify and have moved back to Etsy for these last couple of months, it's been a lot better, and I'm really glad that I made this decision. The last thing, the fifth thing that I learned was that more people are going to like the things that you make than you give yourself credit for. You are your biggest critic, and I feel like a lot of you guys might have not even started your shop because this is the one thing that is always on your mind, and that's, will anyone even like my stuff? Imposter syndrome is so real, and especially I think in the creative field, you always compare yourself to what other people can make. I might make a separate video entirely about imposter syndrome because I'm surprised at how many people have never heard this term before. But to summarize it very briefly, imposter syndrome is that feeling that you get when you think you're not good enough to do what you want to do. The thing with art though is that it's so subjective. Everyone will have a different view and opinion about something. For example, you can look at the Mona Lisa painting. It's such a famous painting, and there are some people who think it's the most beautiful painting in the world, and there are some people who will look at it and question why it's even famous. You'll never be able to find those people in the world who love your art if you think that the world is just filled with people who are going to hate it. And those are 5 things that I learned within the first year of running my shop. It has definitely been a journey, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm very thankful for the people I have met. I'm thankful for every single one of you guys who have watched my videos. I say it a lot, but yeah, I really didn't think that I would get to where I am within a year, so I am very blessed and very thankful for everyone. You guys encourage me to keep making these videos, and I hope that by sharing some of the things that I've learned, it will help inspire you guys during your shop journey or even just to start it. But that's it for this video. I hope you are staying safe out there. If you haven't liked this video and subscribed to this channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have any video requests as well, don't forget to leave it in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!